our embedded whiteboard has a new series of tools that we've added to make it even more convenient to use. Let's take a look at a few of those now. Over on this side of the toolbar, I have a few buttons that are new. One of them isn't necessarily very new, but I just want to review it, which is this button right here that actually looks like a pen coming down on a screen that has arrows looping around it. When I touch that button, what it actually does is it allows me to switch from the whiteboard to the screen annotation tools on whatever source I'm currently using, such as the built-in PC. And what that allows me to do is it allows me to transition ideas from the whiteboard to the screen annotation tools on the source, and I can go back and forth at will. So that's one convenient way to use the whiteboard. Another tool that I have access to is this button that looks like a picture, and in fact that's what it does, is it inserts pictures. And I've got a couple of ways to do this. I can actually navigate to the File Commander and access a folder of pictures that I have stored on the panel. But as you can see, I've got some recents right here, so I'll just go ahead and choose one of those. I'll choose this one right here. And that puts the picture on the screen, and it allows me to move it around. I can also rotate using this little button right here, and I can rotate it back and forth if I want it to be in a different orientation. And of course I can use the whiteboard tools to annotate directly over it, like that. So that's another tool that I have access to. Right next door to that, I have a button that looks like a letter T. That's actually a text box button. So when I touch that, it allows me to choose the color of the text as well as the size of the font. So I'm going to choose blue. I'm going to leave the size alone. Touch the screen, and there it is. There's a text box. The touch keyboard opens, allowing me to type into the text box. When I touch the screen, the touch keyboard will go away. Now, if I want to move this text box around, what I need to do is I need to choose another new tool, which is this lasso tool right here. And when I touch that, that allows me to select things on the screen, and I can then move them around and make it more convenient to work with them that way. Another thing I can do is if I have a couple of things on the screen at one time and I've got the lasso tool, I can actually lasso through the whole thing and move these things around as one object. So that's another convenient way to do that. Over here, next to the T button that we were using for the text box, I have a button that just simply looks like an arrow. And when I touch that, this allows me to actually add shapes to the screen. And there are a number of different choices and colors here. I'm just going to go ahead and choose a circle and then draw a circle on the screen like that. I can draw lines like that. I can change the color, and I can also change the fill if I want to. I'll draw a square this time. I'll choose yellow. And so I can actually add shapes as part of my session on the whiteboard. So that's another convenient tool to use. Of course, all of the tools, the writing tools, remain pretty much the same as we've seen before. But one other tool I want to show you is over here in this cogwheel button. If I touch that, notice that I have a switch right here in the middle. What's important about that is this actually switches the object recognition technology on or off. So if you find that you have a situation and you're working with a whiteboard and you're writing or drawing or diagramming, and all of a sudden it gives you a line that you didn't intend in a different color and a different thickness, what that means is probably either the way that the stylus is being held, or maybe a sleeve is actually coming into play and swiping the screen when you didn't mean to. And what that means is that the object recognition is trying to determine whether or not you're using a thick object or a thinner object. So using this button, you can turn it off by flipping it over to the right. That will turn object recognition off, so then whatever tool you use, it will stick with the thickness and the color that you chose. So that's an example of some of the new tools that we have on our whiteboard, making it even more convenient to use than ever before.